The cold wind on the roof felt like thousands of needles stabbing my skin. I held Lily's hand so tight I could feel her pulse racing. Below us, the sirens of those black SUVs were screaming. The management had arrived. They weren't just here to take Lily back, they were here to erase us. I looked at the edge of the roof. It was a long drop, and the neighboring building was at least 15 feet away. Too far to jump, especially with a child. "Daddy, look!" Lily pointed toward the massive water tank on the roof. Standing right next to it was a figure in a gray suit. It wasn't Henderson, it was someone higher up. "Mr. David," the man spoke, his voice calm and terrifyingly mechanical. "You've seen the wires. You've seen the tunnels. You know how the world really works now. Did you really think you could just walk away with our most successful project?" Project. That's what they called my daughter. My blood boiled. I gripped my hammer, the only weapon I had left. "She's not a project. She's my daughter." I yelled into the wind. The man smiled a thin, lifeless line. "She spent a year in the silence, David. She hasn't spoken a word to anyone but you. Don't you find it strange? How she survived? How she knew exactly when to call you?" I looked down at Lily. Her eyes were wide, staring at the man. Suddenly, she let go of my hand. She didn't run. She just stood there, perfectly still. "Lily, come back here," I whispered. But she didn't move, her head tilted to the side at an unnatural angle. "The phone call wasn't a mistake, David," the man continued, stepping closer. "We wanted you to find her. We wanted to see if the emotional bond was strong enough to bypass our security. You were the final test, and you passed beautifully." My heart felt like it was being crushed. Was this all a trap? Was my rescue just another part of their sick experiment? I looked at the man, then at the soldiers climbing the fire escape. I had seconds to decide. I didn't think. I lunged at the man, not with the hammer, but with my whole body. We crashed into the metal railing. He was stronger than he looked, his hands like cold steel around my throat. "You are just data, David," he hissed, "and data can be deleted." Just as I felt the world going gray, a sound echoed across the roof. It was a high-pitched digital shriek. It wasn't coming from the speakers, it was coming from Lily. She opened her mouth, and the sound that came out was the same electronic trill from the toy phone. But it was 1,000 times louder. The monitors on the roof began to explode. The soldiers on the fire escape clutched their ears, falling back into the darkness. Even the man holding my throat let go, screaming in agony as blood leaked from his ears. Lily wasn't just a victim. Whatever they had done to her in that year, it had changed her. She had become their worst nightmare. I scrambled to my feet, grabbed Lily, and ran toward the service elevator. The electronic shriek stopped as soon as we were inside. The building was shaking. The hidden wires in the walls were short-circuiting, sparks flying everywhere. We reached the ground floor just as the building began to go dark. Not just apartment 4B, the whole block. We ran past the black SUVs. The men inside slumped over their steering wheels, unconscious. We didn't stop running until we reached the old park 3 miles away. We sat on a bench, watching the sunrise. Lily looked at me, her eyes finally looking human again. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the small toy phone. She handed it to me. "It's over, Daddy," she said. Her voice was her own again, soft, sweet. I took the phone and smashed it on the pavement. But as we walked away, I felt a vibration in my own pocket. I pulled out my cell phone. The screen was black. There was no signal, no battery. And yet, it was ringing.